Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine for a second, you're in your kitchen.
Okay, I'm with you.
You're trying to bake um, a really complicated cake, not just a simple one. This is one of those cakes with, many layers and that difficult frosting.
Oh, the fancy kind. The kind that looks amazing in the picture on the website.
Exactly, the one that looks perfect in the picture, but in reality, it's 6 hours of really hard work.
Right.
So you get halfway through the recipe, and there's flour everywhere. I mean, it's on your shirt, it's on the floor,
It's in your hair.
it's everywhere. And the instructions for the next step are suddenly, they're really confusing. They show a picture, of folding the batter, but you don't really understand the technique.
When you're starting to feel that heat in your head, a little bit of panic.
Yes, you look at the mess, you look at the clock, and you just think, stop. I want to stop now.
Hmm.
Forget the cake, forget the flour. I'm just going to order a pizza.
And that moment right there, that is the breaking point. It's when the easy comfort, that pizza, it feels so much better than the long, confusing work of actually making progress.
And that feeling, that low energy, that desire to just quit because you're totally overwhelmed. Does that sound familiar?
Hmm.
Do you stop studying English when you feel that? Do you close the computer?
That feeling is really the heart of what we're looking at today. It's this powerful idea that's, well, it's simple to understand, but it is so difficult to practice. The idea is this: don't stop when you're tired, stop when you're done.
Wow. That's a great statement. It sounds so simple, but there's so much weight in those words.
There really
It's
is.
the difference between feeling regret later and feeling proud later.
Hmm.
It's all about continuing, not stopping when things get difficult. For English, for work, for that monster cake.
Our mission today is to look really closely at the steps from our source material. These sources, they give us these simple, kind of universal secrets that successful people use to finish their tasks, even when their motivation, their brain energy is super low.
We want to help you finish what you start. We want you to feel that sense of completion. So let's start with the basics. The words tired and done are simple. But the difference between them, well, that's the key to everything.
It's the foundation of self-discipline, really.
Okay, so let's just make sure we're all on the same page. What does tired actually mean, simply? How does it affect us when we're trying to learn something?
Tired is a state. It's a feeling, inside your body and your mind.
Right.
When you're tired, your eyes are heavy, your body feels slow. You want to rest, you want the sofa, or you want your bed. And this isn't a bad thing. It's just a physical reality.
It's normal.
It's completely normal. When we use our energy, physical or mental, we get tired.
And when you're studying English, that feeling can hit you so hard, your focus just vanishes.
Oh, yeah.
You read the same sentence 3 times, and the meaning, it just doesn't go into your brain. The words start to look blurry.
That is the exact point. Tiredness is like an invitation from your brain. It's saying, hey, let's pause this difficult work and find some comfort.
Time for a break.
Yeah, exactly. We've used enough resources. Let's rest.
Okay, so that's tired. Now let's look at the other word, done. What is the simple, powerful definition of done?
Done means complete, finished. The job is at 0. There's no more work left for that specific planned task.
So if I set a goal, like today, I will read the first chapter of this new English book.
Mm-hmm.
When I read the final word of that chapter, then I'm done.
Precisely. The goal for that period is met. Or if your goal was to clean the sink full of dishes, when that sink is empty and clean, the job is done.
It's measurable. It's a fact.
It's a factual completion. The slate is clean.
So what we have here is a feeling, tiredness, versus a fact, which is completion. And the huge challenge we face every single day is that the feeling of tired almost always arises long before we get to the fact of done.
And that is the hard choice. That's where the conflict starts. It's so hard to keep working when your instincts, your brain's need for comfort, are screaming at you to stop. They want the sofa now.
But we need to really spend some time on the difference in how you feel later. Because that later feeling, that's the fuel for your motivation tomorrow.
Let's look at the two paths. Path A, you stop early. You're tired, but you're not done. What happens then?
You get that immediate comfort. You close the English book. You sit on the sofa, you relax, maybe you watch some easy TV in your own language. It feels good right now.
But later, maybe when you're lying in bed that night or when you wake up the next morning, what's that feeling that's left over?
Regret. You feel regretful. You know you didn't make any progress. You tell yourself, I chose the easy way, and the difficult work is still waiting for me. It's that quiet, sad feeling.
Right. You got 30 minutes of comfort from that TV show, but the price was a bad feeling later. You chose short-term relief, and the result was, well, stalled progress and regret.
Tired and sad. That combination is a real confidence killer. It teaches your brain that when things get difficult, the answer is quitting. And that's a dangerous lesson.
Okay, now let's look at path B. You finish the goal, you keep working even though you're tired, and you get to done. How does that feel?
You're still tired. For sure. Maybe even more tired than if you had quit. The work was hard, but the feeling is completely different.
How so?
You feel happy, you feel proud, you feel strong because you did what you planned to do. You made real progress.
This is what our sources call the earned reward. You might be physically tired, but mentally you feel great because you won the challenge. You can look at the page you read or the sentences you wrote and say, I did it.
I kept going even when my brain was trying to trick me.
Exactly.
So tired and happy, that is the feeling we need to chase. That positive feedback, that feeling of progress. That's what makes you want to do it again the next day.
And that's why we need simple strategies. Small steps to get from feeling tired to being done. Especially when the big job, like learning English, feels so huge.
Okay, let's get practical. We need to look at how we can outsmart that part of our brain that just wants comfort. The biggest problem for learners is that the goal, learn English, just feels too huge.
Oh, absolutely. Learning English is a long-haul challenge. It's not a sprint.
It takes years of consistency.
Right. And when you think about all the grammar, all the vocabulary, it can make you feel overwhelmed in like 5 minutes, even if you aren't physically tired yet.
Your brain just looked at that huge mountain and says, nope, the energy needed to climb this is too high. Abandoned mission.
And that's when we quit. So we need strategies to make that mountain look more like a small, easy hill.
Let's start with English study. The mistake so many of us make is setting a huge goal based on time. For example, I will study for 3 solid hours tonight.
3 hours sounds very impressive, doesn't it? Very responsible. But it's a psychological disaster waiting to happen.
Why?
Because you feel the first bit of difficulty, maybe 30 minutes in, you're already feeling tired. And you look at the clock, you still have 2.5 hours to go.
It feels impossible. So you quit after 45 minutes and you feel like a failure.
Exactly. You feel like a failure because you only did, 25% of your plan, and that just reinforces that tired and sad pathway we talked about.
So the solution from the sources is we have to change the structure of the goal. Make it small. So small it feels almost silly, but totally achievable.
Yes. Change the goal from a time commitment to a task commitment. Instead of, I will study for 90 minutes, change it to, I will learn and write 2 correct sentences using a new grammar rule.
Or, I will listen to just 10 minutes of this English podcast and write down 3 new words I hear.
10 minutes, that's the key. 10 or 15 minutes is nothing. Even if you're exhausted from work, you can tell your brain, look, we only have to focus for 10 minutes. It's short. Then we are finished.
That makes sense. It takes away the psychological weight. It feels easy to start.
It does.
But what if I finish those 10 minutes and I feel like I didn't really learn anything important? Isn't the point to gain knowledge, not just check a box?
That is a critical question. And this is where we have to understand the difference between completion and mastery. When we are tired, our main goal is completion.
Okay.
The sources suggest that the feeling of success you get from completing that small task, that feeling is actually more important for your long-term motivation than how much you learned in that one moment.
So even if I only finish one short part of the audio and wrote down 1 new word, I am done with my goal.
Yeah.
I get to feel successful.
Yes. And that feeling of success, that little ding in your brain, that's the key. It sends a message. I started something difficult. and I finished it. It's like putting a little bit of energy in the bank for tomorrow.
Because if I try to study for 3 hours and I always quit early, my brain learns English equals failure.
Right.
But if I promise to do 10 minutes and I always finish those 10 minutes, my brain learns English equals success and completion.
Right.
We're training the habit of finishing.
And here's the beautiful part. Often, once you start and finish that small goal, you find you have energy for a second small goal.
The momentum.
The momentum of success fuels more success. You might do another 10 minutes. So you didn't plan for a big study session, but you finished 20 minutes and you felt successful the entire time.
This principle works so well for physical challenges, too. Let's talk about exercise. The body gives you very clear signals when it's tired.
Yes, it does. Let's use the example from the outline. You're trying to learn a complicated new dance move. You've got a 30-minute video tutorial playing.
Okay. The first 10 minutes are fun. I'm energetic. But by minute 15, my legs hurt, I'm sweating, and I keep making mistakes.
And you just want to quit the video, sit down on the floor, and wait for the pain to go away.
Yes, exactly that.
That feeling is the moment of choice. Your goal was 30 minutes. You were tired, but you were not done. The floor is calling your name. What's the strategy here?
The strategy is slow down, but don't stop.
Tell me more.
I have to honor the goal of 30 minutes. That's the important part. But I can change the intensity.
Exactly. So if the full dance move is too much, you lower the intensity. Instead of trying the full routine at full speed, you just practice the footwork slowly.
Or you just walk around the room. You just keep
Okay.
your body moving, even if it doesn't feel very productive.
The key is continuous forward motion, no matter how slow. You are respecting the goal of 30 minutes of practice time, but you are also respecting your body's energy level. You don't let the fatigue win.
But I have to ask, if I'm just walking slowly for the last 15 minutes instead of practicing the hard move, am I just tricking myself? Did I really make any progress on the dance?
And that's a fair question. The sources highlight that in those moments of extreme tiredness, the most important progress you can make is psychological progress.
Okay.
By finishing the 30 minutes, you teach your mind and body that when you set a time goal, you achieve it, you are strengthening your mental endurance. That's the real win.
I see. So the main goal in that tired moment isn't mastering the dance step. The main goal is finishing the 30 minutes.
Precisely. You finish the clock, you finish the goal. When you hit that 30-minute mark, you can stop. You are done. And that feeling, even if you were moving like a turtle for the last half, makes you feel strong and happy.
The rest is now a reward. I earned the right to sit down because I completed my plan. I didn't stop because I was in pain. I stopped because the job was finished. That's a huge difference.
It changes rest from being an escape into a reward, and that earned rest feels so much better.
And we see this everywhere, right?
Oh.
Especially with daily chores. They often happen at the end of a long day when we have zero energy.
Exactly. After you cook dinner, eat dinner, your body is heavy, your mind is tired, you look at a messy kitchen, and it just seems like a mountain of work.
Let's use that messy desk example. You finish a long day of work or study, your desk is a disaster. Papers, old coffee cups, clutter everywhere.
And you look at it and you think, ugh, this is a 20-minute job and I have zero energy. I'll clean it tomorrow.
And the sofa is just singing a beautiful song to you from the other room? It's so tempting. But why is tomorrow a bad idea?
Because the work is still mentally unfinished. You go to sleep, but in the back of your mind, the mess is still there. So when you wake up, you walk into your office, and the first thing you see is that messy desk.
So the mess immediately puts a weight on your new day. You start your day with a feeling of failure because you're already behind. It sets a sad tone for the morning.
The sources tell us we have to say no to that immediate comfort. But how do we clean that messy desk when we have no energy?
We use the tiny steps rule. Again, don't plan to clean the whole office. Just plan to do one small, visible part.
Right. Tell yourself, I'm just going to wash these 3 coffee cups. That's it. It's a 5-minute job.
Make the job so small that it's almost impossible to say no to.
Yes. So you force yourself to stand up. You take the cups to the kitchen. It takes 4 minutes. You're tired the whole time. But you do it. You are done with that tiny goal.
And then what happens?
Now you look at the papers on the desk. Because you successfully finished the cup job, you have a tiny bit of success
A
energy.
little momentum.
Exactly. So you might decide, okay, I'll just stack the papers into one neat pile. 15 minutes later, the desk is mostly clean. You are very tired, but you are done.
And when you finally go to the sofa, it's the best feeling. It's wonderful because you are tired and proud. You finished the work, so you can relax completely.
You see, the hard choice now, cleaning those cups, it results in a happy, relaxed feeling later. This earned reward is so powerful.
Okay, this brings us to the why.
Hmm.
The why. Why does this work? Why is it so hard to choose the difficult thing now when we know it will make us happy later?
It's a core conflict, really. Comfort versus progress. Our brains are designed to save energy. The brain's main job is to keep us safe and comfortable.
So when we do something difficult, like English grammar,
The brain registers that as discomfort, and its default response is to find the fastest way back to ease.
so brains are kind of lazy.
In a smart, protective way, yes. Comfort now feels easy. The sofa is easy. Watching TV is easy. Work and study are uncomfortable. So the brain sends us feelings of tiredness to make us stop.
But if we always choose comfort now, that means no progress later. And if we never move forward, we never get those big goals that create long-term happiness.
Right. Progress, getting better at English, finishing a project, that's what creates real, lasting satisfaction. So we have to train the brain to want the happy later feeling more than the easy now feeling. And the sources give us 3 clear secrets to do this.
Secret number 1, remember the map. When you feel tired and you want to quit, you need to stop focusing on the pain of the moment and focus on where you are going.
Yes, when you hit that wall, when your eyes are sleepy and you want to close the book, the difficulty feels huge, and you forget why you even started.
So you have to remember the why. Why did you start learning English in the first place?
And this needs to be a very specific picture in your mind. Was it to get a better job? Was it to travel to a new city and speak to people easily?
I think just thinking new job isn't strong enough. The sources say we have to make the goal real.
Absolutely. You need to know what that goal feels like, sounds like, looks like. If the goal is a new job, don't just think new job. Think. I am sitting in my new comfortable office chair. I'm talking easily in English to my new colleagues. My new salary means I can provide a better life for my family.
You're creating a future picture that is so positive, so strong, that it can fight against the immediate comfort of the sofa. The future prize has to be more attractive than the immediate rest.
So when you feel tired and want to stop reading, you have to consciously switch your focus. Close your eyes for just 3 seconds. See the new job. See the beautiful city. Focus on the future goal, not the tired feeling right now.
But I have a question about that. If my goal, my map, is huge, like moving to a new country, doesn't that make my small homework right now feel even smaller and less important? Can the map be too big?
That is a brilliant point. The map can feel overwhelming if it seems too far away.
So what's the solution?
The solution is to use the map as the why you are doing it, but use the tiny steps, which is secret number 2, as the how you are doing it. The map is the engine, but the tiny step is the road right in front of your car.
I see. So the goal is the engine that pushes you past the tired feeling. It reminds you that the pain right now is temporary, but the reward in the future is permanent. Which brings us to secret number 2. Make the steps tiny. We talked about this a bit already, but let's look at the psychology of why tiny works so much better than big.
When a goal is too big, like study for 3 hours, the brain gets what we can call pre-fatigue. It looks at the huge task, it imagines all the effort, and it decides, nope, not worth the energy.
It's trying to save energy for something more important.
Exactly. But small goals get past that defense system. When you set a goal like, I must learn 3 new words or I must write 5 simple sentences, the brain says, oh, well, that's too small to resist. That needs almost no energy.
We're basically tricking our own internal energy counter. The goal is so small that it's easy to finish, even when you're tired.
And that's where the magic of momentum comes in. When you finish that tiny goal, when you write those 5 sentences, you feel success. And that feeling of success releases a little bit of a good feeling in your brain.
That little boost of brain energy. I finished my 5 sentences. I feel proud. I'm still tired, but I feel competent.
That feeling of competence is your fuel. You might think, wait, that was easy. Maybe I can do one more tiny goal.
This is the shift from avoiding the work to engaging with the work.
But what about the trap of doing too much? If I finish my 15 minutes and I feel good, sometimes I want to jump into a huge 90-minute task right after. Isn't that dangerous?
That is a very real trap. The danger is turning your success into a reason to overcommit, and then you fail at the new, bigger goal.
So what should we do?
The strategy is to finish the small goal, pause, and check your energy. If you are really tired, take the win and stop for the day. If you feel a real surge of new energy, then set a new tiny goal, maybe 10 more minutes, but never commit to the original overwhelming 3-hour plan. Keep the steps short, so we always prioritize finishing the small piece of work in front of us.
And this leads perfectly to the final secret that makes it all work. Secret number 3, the prize. We have to use rewards in a smart way. The reward isn't an escape from work. It's the trophy you get for being done.
Right. The prize has to be strong enough to pull you through those last difficult minutes. You tell yourself, I'm so tired now, but if I just finish these last 10 flashcards, I get my favorite snack.
We are using the brain's comfort-seeking instinct against itself. We're telling the brain the fastest way to comfort is not quitting. The fastest way to comfort is through finishing this difficult task.
So the sofa, the relaxing TV show, the music, they aren't the default anymore. They are the prize you get after the work is finished.
The timing here is everything. It is the absolute rule. You cannot take the prize before the goal is finished.
Because if you do,
If you take the prize early, you teach your brain that quitting gets a reward, which is the opposite of what we want. The brain has to learn. Difficulty first, reward second. This is how we build discipline.
what makes a good prize? Does it need to be something big?
Not at all. It should be something you really look forward to, something that requires very little mental effort, and something you can get immediately after you're done.
So, for example, after my 30 minutes of English listening, my prize could be watching 10 minutes of funny videos online. Or maybe having a special cup of tea that I only drink after I study.
Perfect examples.
Wow.
Or you finish your walk and your prize is listening to your absolute favorite song very loudly. Or calling a friend for a quick, easy chat.
The reward should be a form of rest that is completely free of guilt because the work is finished.
That is the goal. You are not just resting, you are relaxing because you earned it. You are tired and happy, not tired and sad. And this makes it easier to start again tomorrow because the memory of the work is connected to the positive feeling of the reward.
So let's bring this all together. For everyone listening, everyone learning English or working on any difficult goal, when you feel that tired feeling coming, remember the difference between that feeling and the fact of being done.
You are strong. Learning English is a marathon, not a sprint, and your brain will sometimes tell you to stop. But don't let tiredness trick you into quitting before the job is finished.
When that moment comes, just remember these 3 simple steps. Number 1, remember your big goal, your map. Stop focusing on the difficulty right now and see that happy future. See yourself in that new job.
Number 2, make your steps tiny. Don't plan 3 hours, plan 10 minutes. Or one small task. Make it so small it's easy to finish so you can get that important feeling of success.
And number 3, get your prize, but only after the work is done. Finish the task, then get your snack, listen to your music, sit on the sofa. That relaxation is earned.
Keep going. Every time you push past being tired to get to being done, you are making your mental muscle for progress just a little bit stronger.
We really believe in you. You are doing a great job on your English journey, and we want to celebrate your success with you.
So we have a mandatory question for you today. Think about it. What is the one small, tiny goal that you will absolutely finish this week?
Will you listen to 10 minutes of English news? Will you write 5 simple sentences about your day? Will you finally organize those papers on your desk?
Write it in the comments below. Tell us what your tiny, achievable goal is. We love reading what you share, and we will be there cheering you on to that feeling of being done and proud.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, here is a final thought to take with you. If you knew you could not fail, Would you still stop when you felt tired? Think about the confidence that completion brings.
We'll see you next time. Keep working, everyone. You can do this.